Today's Monday. It's like April 8th, April 9th. We're at 47 Edgewood in Ringwood. This is going to be for our scope of work. The scope of work can be cut down, but I'm just going to go with it as if we were going to make this top of the market house. Number one, I'm going to get rid of this little tree here, that little one. We'll leave these two ones. And what we'll do is we're going to cut down the branches maybe about 10 feet up so you can actually start to see this house. The house has a tree stump over here which would need to kind of get grinded down for when we do the landscaping part. You can see we have all the sawdust here. I don't know what's going on, but we do have an oil tank somewhere in this vicinity. There's a couple signs of the oil tank here. This house, the first floor measures 1460 square feet. The basement is just over 1,000. The garage door is good. We're gonna have to add railings on this side, add railings on here, and we're gonna have to replace this stone that's broken. And it's like, yeah, this one is loose. We can reset that and reuse it. The roof, you can see we have tarp on it. We have some breaks. There's a puncture right up here as well. It's probably from old branches that have fallen. We have about 25 squares here. On the top of the chimney, we have two chimney caps. There's one that's missing here. One is for the hot water heater and the boiler. These two are because you have two fireplaces that tie into each other. The siding is in good condition. It's just weathered because it was never sealed. Nothing was done with it. We can paint this. We can make it like a nice dark gray or like a nice deep blue like that house. It'll look really good when it's done. The gutters we're going to divert a little bit neater on the side over here. You'll see there's a lot of moss all over the pavers or the retaining wall, but it looks really nice. This is a nice step down here, but there's this is just at eye level, so we have a lot of branches to cut down. This is just really kind of muddy. What happens is all the water is being diverted here. So a quick, easy solution is to dig a trench all the way over here. Just add some PVC piping and let that run off the cliff, because it's right back here. It drops off to a cliff. We're going to trim up any of the branches that we have over the pergola and that deck. That deck, we're going to restain it, but we have to redo all the boards over here. We'll see that later. We have a patio underneath the deck. We're gonna have to add a railing right here though. So we'll add maybe a wood rail, something easier. We're gonna fix up the bricks that have fallen here. We have a couple left over here. We just gotta get any of like the metal stuff that's kind of buried underneath the pine. There's a lot of stones and a lot of garbage over here. So we'll get rid of those as well. So this is all wood on the side over here, so we can make the house look really brand new. What we want to do is really cut some of these branches from this guy's tree over here, get them away from our house. That's only going to do more damage. Alright, so we're going to go inside real quick here. This probably will take about 20 minutes to go through. So the front door we can leave. We could paint this really nice. Black is a really cool color nowadays. We have the hardwood floor. We're going to redo these tiles because they're just old and dated. But what we'll do is we'll just open this up so you have a bigger entrance into the house. When you walk in, you just get stuck into this living room. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to close this off a little bit, but have the opening over here. I don't know if we'll do a knee wall yet. The reason you might consider a knee wall right here is because this is going to be the placement of where they're going to put a couch. Now there's not much you're going to do over on these sides here. The fireplace, we really need somebody to do an inspection on that because there's 3 liners in here. It could get complicated. The brick though we can leave, so we'll clean this all up, and what we'll do is we'll whitewash this. It'll look really cool when we're done. We'll have like a new mantle on here, some nice trim pieces of columns. This thing will look like $1 million when we're done here. That I promise. Oh, because when you first walk in, we would get some recessed lights in here. We'll fix up any of the unevenness on the ceilings. We have some light switches over here, but we're going to add 2 here. One to control the light switch outside, and one to control the light switch when you first walk in, so you don't have to walk all the way around. So there'll be some miscellaneous general electric work to do. The bedrooms over here, we're going to update the doors to have the 2-panel Roman arch doors. The baseboard trims, we're going to clean them all up. They'll be all repainted. We'll add the covers onto the end as needed. We're going to change the trim to a newer trim throughout the house because we'll be doing the base trim. The floors here, most of them are in really good condition. So these can be sanded and we'll stain them. The reason why we're going to stain them is the really dark spots here. They're not really going to come out when you sand this. So this will be a darker hardwood floor. The bathroom it's set back a little bit here. So the bathroom is really not that big. It's just a 36-inch vanity, toilet, and a tub. You just have like this hallway. What I'm proposing we'll see on the other side is because this is the main bathroom, instead of just having a 36-inch vanity, we're going to steal a foot from this closet over here and put a 48-inch vanity in here to make this bathroom seem larger and grander since it is the main bathroom. So this back bedroom, we're going to be peeling down all the wallpaper, take the trim off so we can sand all the floors, keep the baseboard heat. We'll be cleaning up all the windows, making sure they work properly because some, like this one right here, it was just dropping, so we need to fix it. But they have this closet here, which is 4 feet. So what we're going to do is we are going to put a 36-inch door here instead of having 48, and we'll get rid of that little trim up there, make it look modern. We will also be adding a light into the center of the room, which we'll have on the switch because it just controls an outlet switch for right now. This front bedroom, you can already see all the cupping and the buckling from the water. So from this point on, this floor has to come out, and we're going to redo it. This existing little bay window in here, we're going to keep. We'll take off all the screens, we'll take off all the hardware so we can paint this really clean, really neat. And we have to add trim all throughout on the inside because this is never finished. We'll have to finish the tops all the way around it. This bedroom only has 2 outlets. There's one here, which is an original, they're non-grounded outlets. There's one there and there's one over here. We're not going to add any more because that's exactly what they had. When we fix the roof, we'll be able to fix all the ceiling up in here. We'll have a new closet rod, new closet shelves. All the doors, all new hardware. In here we'll have new tiles on the floor, new toilet, new vanity. There is no outlet in here yet, so we're going to have to add an outlet. We'll do a new mirror, a nicer light fixture. We can get rid of that. We'll have the towel bar accessory kit, leave the window. Okay, so that'll just be a quick bathroom. All the light switches, all the outlets. We're actually going to add an outlet into the hallway. You should really have one, but all those switches on all the outlets should be new. Every bedroom will have a smoke detector. So when we walk into the kitchen, you'll see the layout, but what's going to happen is pantry, for design purposes, we're actually going to eliminate that. And here's the reason why. We can gain another 18 inches because we don't want to put a direct replacement where we have this double stove or the double oven. These are expensive. And you got to buy a double oven. Then you also have the cooktop stove to save some money. What we're going to do is we're going to have right here, we'll have the refrigerator with some end panels, an 18-inch cabinet. We're going to put the stove here, corner cabinet, leave the sink in the same location, put the dishwasher over here, and therefore you keep the sink centered on the window. You'll get your new appliances and we save some money on the appliances. The cabinets will go all the way up to the ceiling. We won't have this soffit here, and then it'll be finished with some crown molding. The options to do here are to do 8 recessed lights, so we have 4 recessed lights in this kitchen. And we can either have 4 recessed lights in the dining room, or we can leave a chandelier. Off the kitchen, we have the 6-foot sliding door. It needs to get replaced. You see the seal's already broken. It's old. It's the only dated thing in the house. The deck here, the deck is overall good condition. It needs to get power washed. You gotta be very careful as you step. You see all the holes here? Oh, jeez, look at that, that just fell. So I'm not even gonna walk anymore, but this whole deck has to get ripped up. And we will just power wash everything else and stain this. Make sure you walk on the beams when you walk on this deck. So this side of the deck, everything is fine. All this can be, well, the roof you can maybe want to leave. I don't know if you want to leave that color, but when they wrap the house in paint, this will be painted too. It'll be a different color than the porch. We're going to add the screens wherever we need, make sure all the windows are cleaned up. When we paint, we'll have all the caulking and the ceiling done around here. Underneath this deck, we'll see it later, but they have a concrete patio floor. We're going to add a plastic little roofing system on here. It's very cheap and inexpensive, but it'll prevent the basement or the downstairs from being wet, so you can actually be outside when it's raining. We're going to leave this door. We'll paint it up because it's one of those top bottom swing doors. It's kind of nice. We'll make it fit nice and tight here. We'll do all the trim around it. No big deal. So the garage has this plywood floor. I'm not sure why, because they basically had it as a shop. But you can't drive a car into here because this is lifted about 6 inches. So we're going to peel off all the plywood framing. We have to add a set of stairs here. As you see, we just have a crate. We're going to pull the shelving off the walls, but we're going to leave the plywood on there, and then we're just going to paint everything nice and clean. And then we're going to just probably add some of the extra plywood. It's just a couple pieces as they were missing up there. It'll make it look much more finished just for a couple dollars. I'm not sure why, but this part of the roof is a little bit dropped. We're going to look into why that was there, but it's just a roof there, so I think it's just the way the guy framed it. That's pretty much in here. We're going to leave that heat up there if it works, because it has its own disconnect right there. Like I said, this will just be a wooden, well, because the door swings out, you actually got to have a 3-foot landing here. So it'll come out 3 feet, and then the stairs will go this way, so you have enough room to take your car, because you don't want to come straight out. Otherwise, whatever car comes in here might not have the clearance. Oh, the kitchen floor is going to be 12 by 24. It'll be a grayish style tile that we use on almost every single project. This door, when you guys finish that basement, we'll probably actually eliminate this. If you don't finish the basement, then we would leave it. This is sign number 1. You had an oil tank on your property. So down here, this is our unfinished basement. So the walls are already up. Everything is framed in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the sheetrock on top. We are going to make sure everything is cleaned up around here from the drop ceiling. The drop ceiling ceiling needs to get redone. But the ceiling height, even with the drop ceiling, is really tall. I want to say it's a full 8-foot ceiling, which is really nice. The baseboard elements down here, we have to check them. We're going to have to do a plumbing integrity test, so we'll do the pressure test. We need to do the same for the electric. Same thing for the fireplace down here. We are going to whitewash this because people like the brick. We'll add the nice trim around it. We'll add some columns. I'll show you guys some samples of what we just recently did. We'll have a nice mantle on here. The floor is currently concrete. There's no sump pump or French drain in this house. So we are going to put a vinyl plank flooring down here to make sure that in case there's ever any water, we don't have carpet and it's got to get ripped up. Back over here is the laundry section. So what we're going to do is right from the stack, we're going to build a little room over here. It'll be like 7 feet by 9 feet. This is if you guys wanted to do that additional bathroom. We will have the half bath right down here. And then what happens is this part, there'll be another wall here and a door that'll take you into this part of the basement, which is like the finished, unfinished section. I mean, it's already sheetrocked. It just doesn't have a ceiling, so save the money, don't need to do the ceiling. But on the chimney, the fireplace, we'll get this. This is the moisture you're seeing from the effervescence. So we'll scrape that down, we'll treat it, and then we'll get that dry locked. They just had some shelving over here. Over here is the hot water heater. So you can see your hot water heater is already on its way out. It is done. The boiler is a 2-zoned. It's a crown boiler, which is really a piece of crap. It's as low as they come. But it is 140 BTUs because, as you'll see, it has 2 zones right here. One zone's for the basement, one zone's for the upstairs. The reason why we got to test the copper, you see it's already cut, and it's not even connected there. So I don't know what damage we currently have. Overall, I don't really see a lot of damage. So I don't think it's going to be anything to be concerned about. But this water that we have right here actually came from the boiler. So there was boiler water in there. And if it was over the winter, there's a good chance it would have cracked the housing in there. So we're going to assume that that boiler is no good. It's also from 1997. So it's past its useful life. For a home inspection on a new house, it's better to get rid of it. The electric panel is fine. We're going to open it up. We're going to have to test everything because even though the house was updated, this is really sloppy and messy. It was not done by a professional, but it doesn't mean that it's done wrong. So there's, the panel should be fine. These are your, this is your turn-off switch for your oil tank. So there are the verification that you have the oil lines in here. This is why we're going to have to double check everything for all the open electric. But yeah, a lot of repairs have been done. So you see the old cast iron, all the new PVC is run up, which is really great. They tied it in with the right kind of fittings. So it may not have been everything done here professionally, but it was done correctly. This room over here, you can see it's already framed out on the bottom, so it's elevated. This was just a guy's workout room before. So I think that what we just end up doing here is just take it down. You see, this is the original sheetrock. So if we take this framing down, the sheetrock's already there. We have some touch-up work to do. But maybe if you guys want, we actually leave the door there, and we just leave it as another storage area because there's plenty of space down here. This basement is going to be really what's going to sell this house. Because you only have one living room upstairs anyway. The back door, screen door, seems to be in good condition. This is all the bottom boards for the deck. This is where I almost died before when the piece of wood fell. So what we're going to do here is replace all those boards, and underneath this deck there'll be a piece of plastic. It's a little wavy, kind of like this. It'll allow all the water to divert to this side, and we'll have a gutter and a downspout, and we'll pop the water off to the side. Same thing as the side gutters. We'll probably just really quick just dig a little trench here, so any of the water that goes down that pipe gets diverted. The roof, we already talked about. The gutters here are in good condition as long as we get a lot of the trees and everything away. There is some debris up in the attic. It's just a bunch of boxes. Nothing that's out of the ordinary crazy. We do actually have to add a railing right here. You'll get caught on your CO in a home inspection. I think I may have said that already though. This I believe is ours. The way the property line kind of looks. I guess this is where maybe they stored some of their fireplace wood. But maybe we want to consider getting rid of it. It's not that attractive, or at least if you want to keep it, maybe we stage it with some wood. But it's just when we do the rest of the shingles up here, maybe replace these with asphalt shingles and make this look like it is some type of useful. But we do have weeds that are growing in here, so we'll just have to cut those down. We'll cut the ones over here as well. We will mess up the driveway just a little bit, so we'll just have to do a patch. And other than that, considerations I do not know. One, is the oil tank actually removed or not? I'm leaning towards it doesn't, because the grass, doesn't look like there's a big hole there. I do not know about the septic system. I do not know if this house is on septic. So that's something to consider. It seems like it was public water. Oh, and the fireplaces. So yeah, the fireplaces just have to be checked out. Let me go look at those one more time. So it smells like fire and soot and ashes because we have all this here, but you can see the seal around this door. I mean, it operates, and it seems like it would be, an okay door. So maybe somebody can just, fix it up and clean it up. We can repaint the top. I can make it look nice, but I just do not know about those. I don't do fireplaces. That's it.